welcome on in, you guys. So I haven't done a streamer school in a hot minute, so bear with me and have patience. We are doing branding and call to actions today, and I'm going to be making this presentation as we go along because I normally come prepared, but I spent the entire day yesterday cleaning and setting up my new bed, so we are just going to wing it live together. So this is the beginning, branding and call to actions. I chose these two topics because I get asked a lot on and off stream about how essentially to create a brand out of streaming and what exactly a call to action is. And so I'm going to go over and show you examples how I would do this for myself. That way you guys have a clear picture of what it means to brand yourself and to create call to actions to promote said brand. This is going to help your channel as it's helped my channel. In the 4.5 years that I've been doing this, I have surpassed a lot of my expectations by simply having the most lax approach. I'm sure if I was a little more aggressive with promoting my stuff and like actually on point, I would probably be a lot bigger than I am now, but I just really don't have the energy. Like my social battery is drained after one hello, hi, get it. So, so branding. I have branded myself as Alliie, and that's a nickname that a friend of mine gave me when I was still in college and lived in Panama City Beach back in 2015. So it's literally been 10 years since that time, and I still go by that name. So it's nice to have a cute little story behind your name. It doesn't have to be extravagant, but give it some kind of, density, some depth. So the first thing you want to do is, of course, and we're going to change this. You're going to see me change this as we go along here. So first things first, establish a brand that is essentially you or aspects of you that may represent you or what you stand for. Love a good typo. So branding. First things first, establish a brand that is essentially you or aspects of you that may represent you or what you or your business stands for. So that's something to think about. Because for a lot of people, they're like, well, I'm just starting out, so I don't even know what I stand for. And it's like, no, don't think about your business being separate from you, but rather you and the business as one. So what are some things that you personally believe in or stand up for that you want to come through in your art or in your brand? For me, I am anti-racist, anti-sexist. I'm very inclusive. I'm very for everyone, for all. However, in the same breath, respect yourself, respect others, same thing, so unity is my biggest thing, making a big impact while being very small, which is why I chose Alliie, because I'm like, bugs can make a huge impact, even though they're small. There's a lot of things that bugs can do. And so that's kind of like the way that I tie it in with this. For you, it could be anything, whatever it is that you choose. You could essentially take an idea of something and morph it into an entire mascot, I guess, of your beliefs, if that makes sense, which is kind of what I've done for mine. My community was built on unity and love and support and sassiness and funniness and excitement. Everyone that's a part of my whole community feels that way. And they've adopted becoming and being called bugs, or bugababies or whatever the case may be, because that's the kind of environment that I've set up. And so when you're doing this for yourself, you want to make sure that you're actually taking all that in and really, really trying to narrow it down. Now, I know when you sit down and you start making your notes, it can get very overwhelming. If your brain is anything like mine and you have idea after idea just popping up and taking over, it's like, it's very hard to organize your thoughts. But I highly recommend getting a journal like I have to the right of me right now. and breaking down your ideas. Maybe you have a lot of different mascots that you want to kind of take different hats off. I've seen streamers adopt different things like that. Like they have not just segments in their stream, but let's say how I'm Alliie Bug. What if I expanded Alliie Bug to be different kinds of bugs? So today I'm Ladybug, or Love Bug. Tomorrow I'm Sassy Bug. Like and I have actually done that with my sub badges on Twitch. If you look closely and hover over each one, everybody has a different sub badge. You have the chef bug, space bug, gamer bug. Like there's a lot of different kinds. So that's another idea as well, that you can kind of define it even more if you wanted to. I had to drink some water. Stay hydrated, guys. But there's just so many combinations and ways to go about this, which is why it's important to break it down to the actual idea that you're trying to adopt. So understanding branding, we're moving on. And I'm going to need the help of Google to really break this down, because there's so many definitions of branding. So let's just kind of come at it from the influencer definition. Branding. All right. A brand influencer is someone who promotes a brand's products or services through their social media channels. We already know that. I want to know the definition for a brand. Maybe not influencer, but content creator. Yeah, content creator definition, branding. This is not helping. They're giving me like the actual definition of that instead of this. There's a few definitions of it. The action of marking with a branding iron. That's not what we're talking about. The promotion of a particular product or company by means of advertising and distinctive design. I think this is, this right here actually is right on the money of what I'm trying to get across here. Oh my god, not me spelling source wrong. Yeah, always cite your sources. But this is the definition that they give us here. But this, honestly, as simple as this sounds, is exactly what I'm trying to explain to you. So like the promotion of a particular product or company by means of advertising and distinctive design. For me, this whole definition eats, but like this word distinctive is super important. And I'm gonna tell you why. What is the first thing you think about when someone, asks you about me, right? Or if someone looks up Alliie Bug, like what is the first thing that reminds you of me? For some people, it could be a certain song that I'm always playing. For some, it's the energy, right? I'm known for high energy streams, very loud, very obnoxious, very silly, very vulgar. I'm very out there. And so, like, some people will be like, oh my God, like the word fuck. She says that word all the time. Or she loves R&B music. She's always playing old school music. Or twerking. Someone said they always, every time they see a twerking mode, they think about my stream, because it's very much, I have like the club vibe going on, So branding is super duper important, because it's the reason why people will remember who you are, what you stand for. It creates familiarity, which is super important as a creator. And not only that, but like, think about the brands that you already know and love and support, and how they instantly get brought up in your mind over the littlest of things. It could be a color that's a reminder, a certain tone, a song, a melody, anything, right? Someone could start humming the ba-da-ba-ba-ba, and you immediately know that's McDonald's, correct? Love that chicken from Popeyes, like all those different things immediately remind you of those companies, because they've done a good job and paid a lot of money to get that drilled in your head to where it's muscle memory. So streaming and being a content creator also works the same way if you think about it. And once I made those two connections, I surpassed a lot of my expectations, because of that. Associating myself with a bug seems super silly, but like honestly, it's the easiest thing I could think of at the time. And it's gotten to the point where people who I meet for the first time have given me nicknames and thrown bug at the end of it just to kind of play on with my whole persona. So that's what I'm saying. Like, create a familiar, like, name, color, icon, or persona, or vibe, alias, whatever you want to call it, that people can not only relate with and love and want to come back to, but like they're actually interested in engaging with it because of how memorable it is, and how much of a good feeling, you know, they're going to associate that with a good feeling, therefore they're going to want more of it, like dopamine. I know I kind of went on a little tangent there, but it's for your own good. You and your brand. So call to actions is what we're going to move on to. So I've explained to you what a brand is, and now we're going to get into what exactly a call to action is. So when I say call to action, you're probably like, what the hell are you talking about? Call to action is literally exactly what it sounds like. I remember my first time hearing this when I was in school. I went to Monroe College in New Rochelle, New York, which is in the Bronx. I went to culinary. I was a double major as a culinary and business management. And learning what call to action was so funny because I was like, what the fuck are we calling? Like, what? Why do we have to call it that? Like, what? And it's literally what it says. So it's something somewhere that is calling a person to do something. The action being following you, dropping a tip or a dono subscription, sharing your videos, commenting on your videos, commenting on your pictures on your social media, joining your Discord, buying a piece of merch. These are all examples of call to actions. They're calling you, the viewer, the supporter, the follower, the person that's engaging with the content that may or may not be interested in what comes next. It's asking you to do something, which is super important to note because it's not something that a lot of streamers do enough of, and then there's some streamers that do too much of it. So I want to break this down in a way that makes sense for you, because my ideal viewer at the moment is someone who is like myself. Anywhere, we're nano influencers, so we're 0 to 10,000. I only have, I think, across the board 7,000, I believe, close to like 7 or 8,000 followers across all of my socials, if I include my Twitch with my socials. But most people that I associate with are within the 0 to 10,000 range. They're literally my colleagues. We're the same. Whether you have 200 followers, 50, or 5,000, we're kind of in the same boat because we're all nano influencers. So a call to action, as far as being a content creator, could be, the first one I can think of right off the rip is following, supporting, socials. Second one being to buy the promoted merch. No. Wait. I was like, wait, where'd it go? Okay. Joining a community. Discord. Groups. Okay, so Discord, Facebook groups, IG group chats. I'm going to include the pay-per-click to this because that's essentially what this is. Okay. All right, that's all of that. All right, give me just a moment here. Let me be right back.